Hello, welcome to the Code with Span YouTube channel. In this lecture, we are going to discuss the loops. In Java, whenever we need to perform the similar set of operations again and again, then we choose loops. So that repeating statements could be avoided. That improves the readability from the user. That means, see here, if I want to perform system dot out dot println code with span. I am writing here code with span, and again I want to print code with span. I am writing as an SOPLN shortcut. Again I want to print code with span. Again I want to print code with span. It means I am using the same statements again and again. So to avoid this code, we have to write this in a single statement. So to avoid this code again and again, repeating steps, we are using the loops. So there are 4 types of loops: while loop, do while loop, for loop, and for each loop. So firstly we will see the while loop. In the while loop is used to repeat the set of instructions as long as a certain condition is true. It checks the condition first and returns if it is true. It runs the code inside the loop. This keep going until the condition becomes false. See here, for example, int I is equals to 1. If I am using the while loop, right? So while loop syntax is while condition open parenthesis and close parenthesis. When the condition is becomes true, then it enter into the block and the code will get executed. When the condition become false, then it comes out of the loop. So here int I is equals to 1. I am initializing int I is equals to 1. So I am checking the condition now. While I is less than or is equals to 5. That means initially what is the value? 1. So 1 is less than or equals to 5, true. So it will enter into the block and execute the code. After that it will take increment I plus plus. Again I will reinitialize with the 2. Then it checks 2 is less than or equals to 5, true. Then it comes to the block and that block of the code get executed. Then it comes out of the loop. Then again it will be incremented. Then 2 incremented to 3 less than 5, true. Again until it becomes false. If the condition becomes false, then it comes out of the loop. This is all about while loop. That means as long as the condition is true, it keep on executing the block of code. Only if the condition is false, it comes out of the loop. Let me see the example. See here, I want to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have to print from 1 to 10. So initially I is equals to 1. So I have to print system.out.println. I am using as a shortcut. System.out.println of I means 1. Then I have to increment. Then 2. Then I have to increment. So repeating these steps I can avoid through using the loops. So now I want to use while loop. Means while condition open parenthesis and the close parenthesis, right? So see here, while I less than or is equals to 10. That means I must and should be less than or equals to 10. So initially I value will be the 1. So keep on checking the condition until it becomes false. 1 less than equals to false, true. So it will print again increment and continues the loop until it becomes false. This is the logic. Now I have to write the total program by using this logic in the next slide. See here, public class main, public static void main string arguments, int I is equals to 1. The what we write in here condition I less than or equals to 10, right? So I less than or equals to 10. System.out.println I plus plus. This is the code for while loop and this is the syntax. I hope you understand the while loop. Next we are going to see the do while loop. do while loop. Do while loop is similar to the while loop, but with one key difference is it runs the code inside the loop at least once before it checking the condition. After the first run, it keeps the repeating as long as the condition is true. That means while loop and the do while loop is same, but while loop first it checks the condition. If the condition is true only, it enter into the block. But as coming to the do while, first it come to the code and then it checks the condition. If the condition is true, it keep on repeating. If it is block, it comes out of the block. It is all about do while. See, do first the code will get executed and it checks the condition. Now we will see the example so that you can understand easily. See, first initially int I is equals to 1. Do, I am writing the code system.out.println I. So first I1 will be the printed, then it will be incremented. Then I have to check the condition. So these condition checks until it becomes false. If the condition is true, again it continues repeating the same process. In this example, the loop prints numbers from 1 to 5. The do while loop ensures the code runs inside at least once, even if the condition is initially false. If the condition is initially false also, the one time, the only once the code inside will be the executed. As you know, while loop and the do while loop is the only difference. Is first it checks the condition, then the code will be get executed. Here the code will be executed for at least once, then the condition is going to be executed. It is all about while loop and the do while loop. So in the next we will see the for loop. See, this is a program by using the while loop. Do system.out.println I while I is less than or equals to 5. This is the output. Next, for loop. In Java, for loop is used to repeat a block of code as a specific number of times. It is commonly used when the number of iterations are known. So when we write a program, when we want to write a program which is repeating a number of steps, that program we can write in while loop, do while loop and the for loop. It doesn't mean if we write in the while loop we are unable to write in the for loop or do while loop. We can write every program by using all these three loops, but for loop is mainly famous for it mostly used when the number of iterations are known. See here. For initialization, condition and updation. Here first see, for example, initialization means for int I is equals to 1. Condition I less than or is equals to 5. Next, update I plus plus. I am writing this all statements, this all the logic only by using the for loop. First it will be initialized int I is equals to 1. Then it checks the condition. If the condition is true, then it will get executed. After execution, it will get updated again. After updation, then again it checks the condition. If the condition is true, it comes to the block. So here also same, but it follows for loop, initialization, condition and the updation. This is all about the for loop syntax. Let's see the example. See, for int I is equals to 1, I less than or equals to 5, I plus plus. So first I is equals to 1, then it enter into the condition statement. If the condition statement is true only, then the block of code will be get executed. After that I will be the incremented. After it checks, then it checks the condition. If it is true, it enter into the block, then it will be updated. This process runs until the condition is false. If the condition is false, it comes out of the block. So this all about loops. Here we have discussed what is loops, while loop, do while loop, and the for loop. I hope you understand. That's all for today. Thanks.